Hello and warm welcome to all of you. Dear students, today I am here with the part 5 of Civics chapter number 6, Understanding our Criminal Justice System. In the previous lecture, we had discussed the role of public prosecutor and the role of judge in our criminal justice system. As we had discussed, the criminal offense is regarded as public wrong and it is considered to have been committed not only against an affected victim but against whole society. And in the court, it is public prosecutor who represents the interests of the state, interests of the society. Public prosecutor presents the full and complete information, witnesses and evidences of the crime before the court to decide the case. So this was the role played by public prosecutor. Then after, the judge hears all the witnesses and any other evidences presented by the prosecution and defense lawyer. After all these, judge decide the person is guilty or innocent on the basis of evidences and in accordance with the law. So this was the role of judge. Dear students, today we will see the role played by the defense lawyer. Now we will see the role of defense lawyer in the defense of accused person. Here you just imagine if the police, public prosecutor and judge are only there, means these three players of criminal justice system are there to decide the case of Shanti. And Shanti was not given opportunity to prove herself innocent. Then what happened? You imagine what happened if the court did not give copy of charge sheet and statement of witnesses to Shanti. But here in the case of Shanti was given copy of charge sheet and other evidence that the prosecution presented against Shanti in the court. Here Shanti was charged with the offense of the theft that was defined as a crime by the law. Imagine what happened. The case was held in a secret location by the judge where neither Shanti nor Sushil were present. Imagine. The trial was held at secret location by the judge without the presence of accused Santi and her brother. What happened if Santi's lawyer, Advocate Roy, was not given enough time to question witnesses of the prosecution by judge? This is also important. Santi's lawyer, Kamla Roy, if not given enough time to ask the question to the witnesses of prosecution by the judge, then what happened? Dear students, if this all had happened, then it would be an unfair trial. If Santi was not given the copy of charge sheet and statement of witnesses by the court, if the case, the trial was held at the secret location by the judge, if accused Santi and her brother were not allowed to present in the trial, if Santi's lawyer, defense lawyer Kamla Roy, was not given enough time to ask the question to witnesses of prosecution by the judge, if all this happened, then we can say that it was not a fair trial. It was unfair trial. Why? Because Santi was not given opportunity to prove herself innocent by the court. Now, here the question is, what is fair trial? You have to keep in mind, if all above mentioned circumstances happen, then we can say it was unfair trial. So here the question, what is fair trial? So first I would like to discuss the essential elements of fair trial, keeping in mind Santi's case. Now we are going to discuss the essential element of fair trial. Number one, the trial should be held in open court in public view. Now turn to Santi's case. The trial was held in open court in public view. Her brother Sushil could attend the court hearing. The trial was held in open court. The case of Santi, the trial of Santi was held in open court in public view. So the first element is there. Number two, the trial should be held in the presence of accused. In the case of Santi, the trial was held in the presence of accused Santi. Santi was also present when the trial was going on into the court. So the second element is also there. Accused must be defended by a lawyer. When trial was going, accused Santi, she was defended by a lawyer, Advocate Roy. Due to the poverty, she was unable to hire the lawyer. That's why judge appoint Kamla Roy as Santi's defense lawyer. So the third element is also there. Number 4, defense lawyer must have opportunity to cross-examine all the witnesses of prosecution. In the case of Santi, Advocate Roy was given an opportunity to cross-examine in the sense questioning two witnesses. Kamla Roy was given an opportunity to cross-examine all the prosecution witnesses. Even Advocate Roy was given an opportunity to present witnesses in Santi's defense. Advocate Roy was also allowed to present witnesses in the defense of Santi. So, the fourth essential element of fair trial was there in Santi's case. It was the responsibility of the prosecution to prove beyond reasonable doubt that accused was guilty. When police filed a case of theft against the judge, against Santi, the judge assumed her to be innocent. But it was the responsibility of prosecution to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Santi was guilty. When police filed a case against Santi, in the beginning, judge was also assuming Santi is innocent. But it was the responsibility of public prosecutor to prove reasonable doubt that Santi was guilty. But in the case of Santi, public prosecution failed to prove Santi was guilty. Number 6, the judge should decide the matter only on the basis of evidence before the court. He must remain impartial. Here, it is important that judge decide the matter only on the basis of evidences which were presented before the court by public prosecutor and defense lawyer. Even at the time of declaring judgment, judge must remain impartial. So, in Santi's case, since the evidence showed that some young man and not Santi was the thief, judge set Santi free. When police officer rushed into the court with some young men and provide evidence in the defense of Santi. So, judge declared Santi was not a thief. Judge set Santi free. So, in Santi's case, justice was finally done on her because she was given a fair trial. So, you have to keep in mind, in Santi's case, she was given opportunity of fair trial to defend herself. So these are the essential element of fair trial. The constitution and law show that all the persons that we have discussed in this chapter should perform their role in a proper way. We have discussed 4 key pillars of criminal justice system, and they all have to work as per the constitution and law. They have to work as the guideline provided by the constitution and law. This means that they all need to work to ensure that every citizen, irrespective of their caste, class, gender, religion, and ideological backgrounds, get a fair trial when accused. It means that they have to work to ensure each and every citizen of the country, irrespective of their class, caste, gender, religious and ideological background, they all get a fair trial when they accuse. Because the rule of law says that everyone is equal before the law, and Constitution of India guaranteed a fair trial to every citizen of the country. So whenever any accused person presented into the court, these all 4 key players, they have to perform under the guideline provided by the Constitution of India, because rule of law apply to every citizen of India in equal manner, and as per this Constitution and law guaranteed fair trial to every citizen of the country. Dear students, with this the chapter is over, and I would like to conclude my today's lecture. Inshallah, we will meet again very soon with the new lecture from same chapter. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Allah Hafiz.